Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and got a good one for you today. I'm in Corona del Mar. It's absolutely just a beautiful morning. It's stunning out here. So, a lot to cover, and I want to talk to you about taking risk off the table, because we got some good advice from somebody that we all know and love, and that's what he says we should all be doing. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, we have a sponsor today, Patriot Gold, and I'll talk about them a little later. Jeff Bezos, great guy, just a stellar guy. You know, trust him with your best friend's wife, you know? And he came out over the weekend on CNBC and had some words of wisdom with the business community and what people should do, big and small companies. And he thinks that we are ripe for big problems right now. And one thing that Jeff said was that we're headed to a recession. And I'm going to disagree with him there, because we're not heading anywhere, guys. The car is out of gas, and we are pushing the car, and people don't want to admit that the car is not functioning. We are in a recession. We are in a full-blown recession right now. What we're headed to right now is going to be much worse than any recessionary period of our lives. It's that simple. And Jeff suggested that you're going to see every sector of the economy get affected right now, that there's no sector that is doing well right now. That's a bold statement. He also said that people are laying off people in massive amounts right now. And here's the other thing. I want to ask you guys, have you ever seen any company that's hiring? I'm not talking about, hey, we're hiring 5 people. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, we're going to hire 2,000 people for this expansion. If you see anything like that you want to share with the channel, please reach out and share that stuff. Because Jeff is talking about how there is a massive downturn in the economy. And think about this. This is the middle of November, and it is the holiday season. And we are, ripe for people to start looking at holiday purchases for between now, Christmas, Hanukkah, everything. And Jeff said, no, put off big purchases right now. And he's saying that big companies right now are cutting back. They're cutting back on expansion plans. They're cutting back on advertising plans. And they're cutting back on moving things forward with companies. If you were a small company, you need to take risk off the table, which, again, that's brilliant advice. But I just don't believe this guy when he's sitting there saying that, hey, we could be heading into real dark times. What we're going to head into is going to be depressionary times right now, and it's going to be absolutely upside down and horrific for people in the coming months and the coming year. So make those changes. Now, the new CEO of Amazon just stepped forward, and he says, hey, we're getting rid of 10,000 executives. It's not people in the warehouse. It's the executives right now that we're getting rid of. So they're laying off 10,000 people at Amazon right now. And Amazon is clearly one of the world's largest employers, and it's a small percentage of the company, but it's 10,000 adults. It's 10,000 executives in various capacities of the company, and that is a concern. It should be a concern for everybody right now. So, Jeff, I have problems with this guy. I have a problem with the guy, cheating on his wife with his best friend's wife and then dating her. And he's a degenerate, okay, as far as I'm concerned. He also announced with this weekend that he's going to give away his entire fortune. So I'm supposed to celebrate that. Now, which is fine, okay? And, but Jeff, these guys do this and say, hey, I'm giving away my fortune. And there's tax breaks, and there's the ways that they set it up. It's not just writing checks and giving people money. It's just not like that. We all know that. But do you take these things seriously? I do. I take it seriously. Why are they bringing this guy out? This guy has to do nothing throughout the day. Yes, he's trying to do his space nonsense, and these guys are not curing world hunger like they all say that they're going to. But what do you think about this? Do you take this guy seriously when he sits there and says that there's a problem in the business community and in the economy, and that people need to take it seriously? That's good advice. Right now with your business, get rid of any debt that you can. And I've had people write me about how do I plan? How do I make changes to the business? A lot of people I met with the party and people that flew in from around the country, people just live in different communities. People got to see this great place and hang out, but everybody is concerned. Everybody that's got their head on straight is realistic with things not being very good right now. And you have to look at that. You really do. So do what you can do to streamline everything. Make sure that your costs are in order. Let's walk down a little bit towards the beach. But get rid of everything that's going to be a problem in your life and securing your finances and making sure that you don't have a lot of debt. And a lot of people are writing me telling me, oh, the credit card companies are giving me more credit. Isn't that great? No. Okay. Take it. Don't use it. Do that. Have it for a rainy day. You should have credit for a rainy day if something happens. People don't have money as a backup plan. Do yourself a favor. Save money for your emergency fund. Do that. And again, depending on how big your household monthly nut is, that's what your emergency plan should be based on. People argue that if you should have, a month's cash socked away. Some people say 6 months. I'm one that start with a month. Get your rent covered. Get things like that covered so that if something happened, you'd have a place to live and you don't have a problem. You don't have people looking for you for that. That's a great way to start. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. Let's face it, there's a lot of experts out there talking about how bad things are. And I believe the fear gauge is absolutely real right now when it comes to the stock market. What are you going to do? Give your money to some kid in crypto? Come on. This has proven itself to be an absolute debacle, to say the least, and there's no answers in sight. You need to look at getting a 401k or IRA that's backed by physical metals, and that's at Patriot Gold. Call 888-330-1431 today and get a free investor guide on how you can get a IRA that's backed by physical metals. Think about this. Billionaires, even Jeff Bezos right now is talking about taking fear and taking risk off the table. And the way to do that is with physical metals. Look at the billionaires right now that are warning people that we're going to have a lost decade in stocks and that there's going to be nothing but problems on the horizon when it comes to regular investments. You need to look at an alternative. The alternative is a 401k or IRA that's backed by physical metals from Patriot Gold. Call them today, 888-330-1431. Let them know that iAllegedly sent you, and do it before it's too late, guys. Now, one thing that happened over the weekend was we had the party. And whenever you have an event, Dan is kind of incommunicado with everybody. And I have to get caught up after the event, and you throw my girlfriend in the hospital and all this stuff, and it just escalates everything. But one thing that is undeniable that we cannot escape is this FTX exchange in crypto nonsense. Now, I don't know much about crypto, okay? I really don't. The people that do seem to think that it's going to be the end-all to be-all when it comes to investments. The only problem is that the unhackable is hackable. And, I know a lot of smart people in the medical space, and one of the hottest things right now is medical technology that blocks ransomware and cyber crimes and cyber attacks. The Internet of Things is great, but the Internet of Medical Things is huge, and you want to protect yourself. You don't want a device that can be corrupted or can be hacked in such a way that, let's just say, you've seen this in movies, the vice president's got a pacemaker and they up it and explode the pacemaker in the guy. You don't want that. You don't want little Johnny's defibrillator or, his asthma inhaler. You don't want it to where it's online to where somebody could attach that and turn the dose up to 11. You don't want that. there are people that are sinister, bad people that are doing things for money. They're doing things with crypto. They're doing things just to get themselves, access to people's medical information, because there's value in that. So the crypto exchanges that go down, it's inevitable that these people are gonna get hacked and gonna have problems. But now that you have this exchange that has billions of dollars missing, and it's crazy. This Sam Bankman-Fried, when you start to see these TikToks that are being sent to me, they're very cringeworthy. And you see him and Tom Brady talking about how great everything is and how it's the greatest business and all this money. It is absolutely going to be an epic collapse. But where do you draw the line? Where do these people, when did they start getting sued? When does the celebrity start getting sued? When does Kevin O'Leary get sued for this stuff? Because he was an investor, he's put money into it, and sure enough, the thing goes down for the count, and now he's backpedaling and telling you everything that he knew and what was wrong with it and all the warning signs that he saw. So, what do you guys think about this? Sam Bankman-Fried, rumor is right now that he has been questioned by the police. Has he been arrested? Will he be arrested? He's such a huge Democratic donor. Will that make it so that he gets a get out of jail free card? Who knows? I don't know. But it's this world is upside down. New York. I was going to take my son to a Yankee game and a New York Mets game this year. That was one thing we were going to do. In hell, guys, I will never go to New York right now. With The Purge. The Purge, guys, was a movie about how crime is legal for one day so people can let go and let all hell break loose and settle their angst by letting crime go. That's what's going to happen in New York right now with the crime that we're experiencing right now. And the fact that they voted this back in, insanity, guys. Insanity live, and that's what you guys voted for. So enjoy. That's the world that we're in right now. And will Sam Bankman-Fried go to jail? Who knows? Who flipping knows? I don't think so at all. I think that he gets a pass, and it'll be somebody else's fault. So share your thoughts on that. This right here is a beach called Little Corona. I am in Corona del Mar. You've got Big Corona, which is the state beach, got very small waves, but this is where the Newport Bay, you enter it. The other side of the bay, which that's a 45-minute drive to get to the other side of the bay, that is over there where you have the, there it is, sorry about that. That's where you have the Wedge, the famous surfing spot, and all those famous houses. That's where that most expensive, $30 million house was, where the people are getting $1,900 a square foot and they're smoking crack. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I think that it's Looneyville, guys. I think that we're in for end of days right now, and you haven't seen anything yet. So the best advice that Jeff Bezos gave is take risk off the table. Look at all your financing. Look at all your bills. I have had all my friends, people that were at the party, people that have reached out to me, people from around the country, they all said, you know what, we're finally going to sit down and work on the budget. We're finally going to, between now and Thanksgiving, get rid of everything that we don't need right now. Every expense, everything. That is the best thing you can do. The cable TV, look at free sources. Guys, look at like Pluto TV. Look at things like that you can get that don't cost you a dime over spending all that money with the cable company. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. You're gonna sleep better at night. You're gonna feel better at night if you do that. So share your thoughts on all this stuff. Let me know what you're thinking about all this. But just a beautiful morning out here. Absolutely stunning. It's funny, Elon Musk steps forward and says, hey, buying Twitter has really cost me a lot of time. I'm working 7 days a week right now. Okay, richest guy in the world. I'm sorry that you have to work 7 days a week. So it was a little bit more work than he thought it was going to be, which is kind of funny. And think about this. A IT developer that works for Twitter sent a tweet out this week and, hey, I'm sorry that, Twitter is acting so slow and, certain countries and that you're having these difficulties. And other IT people said, hey, maybe this is something you should have sent to Elon, privately and not done publicly like this. And Elon wrote back, you're fired. So the guy got fired via Twitter, which I thought was hilarious. So he's done. One thing about these large companies is they love to have free food and all these different things, different perks for the employees. And, one time when I worked at Solar City, they had free meals there. They had like a kitchen and a chef, and they wanted to be Google so badly. It was funny. I can tell you about that later. But Elon Musk just got rid of the free lunch at Twitter, all the offices. So you'd walk in, there'd be free food and everything there for everybody. Not anymore, guys. That is done. And that has saved him $13 million. $13 million bucks. Is that crazy, guys? That is absolutely nuts. So, it gets to a point that, you have to draw a line when it comes to a company that's losing just on payroll, $700 million a year. I'm walking this back way to show you guys something. So, here's the one drag about living in these huge houses is that you get some mook with a camera walking through, and state beaches are open. So they're not private to the world. It's kind of nuts. It's kind of a drag when you buy a house for 20 million bucks and you get some guy walking by. There's that. Now, the Biden administration just heard from an appellate court that they are blocking the student loan payments. The waiving the free student loans. Done. Finished. That's not going to happen now. Again. So, I have a problem with this. I was talking about this a little bit yesterday about, the 10 worst degrees to get, and there was a story about that. But, what degree is worthwhile? I know the guy, the financial prepper, him and his wife. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? A private little beach down here. This is Corona Del Mar, Shell Lane. This is where I'm at. But just absolutely, just stunning. And yeah, you can go lay out in that beach. There's nothing they can do about that. So we'll go back up the hill. But just really cool that you can do this. But financial prepper, he was in high school, realized he couldn't afford college. His parents couldn't afford it. So I wanted to learn a trade, and he learned welding. Well, this guy made a ton of money welding in Louisiana and bought rental property. He's a very successful guy. And you know what he does? Sleeps at night right now. He's a little bit younger than me, but he's not worried about making his student loan debt right now. And it's not fair that a guy like that is paying his taxes so that people can get their student loan forgiven. And, all these degrees that people got that don't make any money, that's what I don't understand. I really don't. So share your thoughts on that. But the student loan forgiveness is done. The application, they got to shut down the portal. There's going to be no more student loan forgiveness right now. And they may not be able to get another court hearing until after the first of the year. So this may be done. So, all these promises with elections, we're going to give you a $2,000 stimulus check. And then there's no $2,000 stimulus check. Don't people go, hey, wait a second, this is my $2,000. Well, hey, I was going to get my student loans forgiven. Where's that? Nobody goes back to that. Why is that? Why do you not jump up and down for you people that were banking on that? Because it's payment time, guys. Get ready to make those payments again. Share your thoughts on all this stuff, please. Remember last week when the Tyson food executive fell asleep in the wrong person's house and broke in and was arrested in her bed? Well, he's now apologized and is taking full responsibility for his actions. That guy is the luckiest guy in the world, seriously. Because I know people that if you broke into their house, you would have a problem a forever problem. Okay? And this guy is the luckiest guy. He's a lottery winner. So that's how this guy is. Yeah, he was a lottery winner by being part of the Tustin food chain, but what a complete degenerate. So share your thoughts on that stuff, guys. I thought it was funny, to say the least. As I walked through this beautiful real estate, one story that just popped up and was sent to me was Sam Bankman-Fried, the guy that owned FTX, is listing his $40 million condo for sale. When does it get seized, guys? When does it become a Bernie Madoff and they grab it? Lehman Brothers. The bankruptcy, isn't it funny? So is he going to get to sell this and live off part of the money? The rumor is, and this is just the beginning, and these stories are going to be epic and they're going to be absolutely fantastic, that he bought $200 million worth of real estate in the Bahamas for his friends to live. So all his college buddies, family members, friends, acquaintances, they were just camped out in the Bahamas in all these beautiful locations, and he used the FTX money for that. So it will be interesting to see what happens and how this plays out, and if they will seize it or not. I think they should. So it's always sad when a business goes down for the count. There was a story that's down in the video description. Boombox ice cream pops are done. Started in 2014. Were the darlings of Louisiana. You know, Baton Rouge, had different locations. They're completely finished now, guys. Gonna close business forever on December 30th. You know, it's sad. It's a sign of the times. Not that you need ice cream, but anytime a business goes down, I'm just always feeling for these people when this happens. So, share your thoughts on this. You could get these lots, guys. They're $8 million a piece. Okay, we can go in together. We can camp there. Okay, share your thoughts, guys. Here's a great story that I found absolutely fascinating. There was a remote worker who did different side jobs for a company, and he did work here in California and didn't disclose that to the company, and the company ended up getting caught by the IRS, and now they have to pay $30,000 in penalties as a result of this. Now, I know a guy that works remotely, and this is the guy I told you about at the beginning of the summer that travels from place to place, is an engineer. Dan, I Airbnb here, I go here, and he's not on a fixed location. He can go stay a week at a place. I wonder if they have to pay different taxes because he's working in California for Duncan. That is crazy to think about. So, you know, is that the future of this stuff? It's going to be more tax problems because of people like this. So, share your thoughts on that one. Michael Burry from The Big Short says he's back in the stock market. I won't bore you with his picks. The story is below, and you can take a look at that if that interests you. I think it'll interest a lot of people if that guy's back in. And it will be interesting to see how he does in this climate right now, because I think it's just tumultuous, to say the least. One thing that's fascinating is corporate espionage and how people figure things out. Some things are just obvious and in front of your face. It doesn't take a big effort. Apple is placing job wanted positions on their website, and they're going to build their own metaverse. So it's not a big deal. It's not, you know, they're kind of trying to hide it, but it's kind of a joke because the people that they're trying to hire are people that work in that field. So does that interest you? If Apple has a VR headset, are you going to go out and buy it? I'm not. I love my iPhones. And I just think it's ridiculous that people are so enamored by this, you know, by this kiddie land out there. It's a joke to me. But a lot of people are talking about how the metaverse will be something 3 to 5 years from now. Maybe. What about the Apple car? When's that coming out? When are we going to see the Apple car? Does that interest you? Because they're building the car. They've hired all these people from BMW and all these other places to take over and build these communities. Okay? I think it's a joke. You know, again, focus on one thing. Do that one thing good. And, you know, the iPhone drama, and the fact that people are not buying the iPhone like they have in the past is an absolute disaster. Toys this Christmas, they say the quality of the toys are terrible, that they suck, and that toys are cheaper in quality and they're smaller, and kids are not getting the value that they thought they would when they get these toys. So I guess kids are getting the Christmas presents early. So there's that. Final thing is my mother, when she was alive, would build puzzles a lot. So we'd buy her, stadium puzzle, this one, 1,000 pieces. There's one that just came out that's 60,000 pieces. It's the world map. It's the Eiffel Tower, 8 feet by 29 feet wide. Who has room for that to build a puzzle that big? But does that interest you? The story's below. And I'm always fascinated by stuff like that because people step forward and do these crazy things like that. So please don't forget to hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Please don't forget to join our email list. The link is below. Take a look at the sponsor, Patriot Gold. They're a great company. And onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon.